We are hearing the life story of Melissa Mittereder. She used to be a former costumer. She used to do the stars. And then Jesus, we know how God does, got a hold of her, turned her whole life around. She was living in New York. And at one point, God said, it's time to go. Lost everything like during the pandemic. And here you are back in Pittsburgh. So Melissa, tell us about when you were here. You know, you said you were making six figures, had this unbelievable life. And then God said, time to come back to Pittsburgh. What did he start doing? Tell us a little bit about how your spiritual walk really started taking off.
Oh my goodness. So the whole time I was in New York, I never found a church that I felt like it was a church family. And I tried a lot of them. So when I came back, Tiffany Gilbert, who'd been my friend since junior high, she would invite me to church, never pushing, just, you want to come? And I went a few times, but still wasn't listening. And then I thought last winter that my breast cancer was back. And don't we all know when we come to that moment of fear and uncertainty, we're all praying, right? Let's just be real. And so when I thought the breast cancer was back, I went to church with Pastor Jay at Another Level Ministry, and I'm driving there and I am crying where I can't see. And then all of a sudden, peace of God came over me. Stopped crying. And the song Waymaker was on. And that song for me just every time gets me, because he's the miracle worker. He's working behind the scenes even when we don't see it, right? And it came over me, and God said, they're gonna sing that song at church today. And it's not one of our regular songs, I can tell you that. Last song before Pastor Jay came on, Waymaker. Pastor Jay is in the middle of his sermon. He stops, comes over, and he said, God told me that there's something going on in your body, and he's healing you. So just so you know, it's healed. Goes back, does a sermon. After service, he said, I just want you to know, Tiffany did not tell me. I said, she doesn't know. Only my mom knew.
Wow.
And that right there for me was, oh my goodness. It just blew my mind. So we always joke with Another Level Ministries, you never leave the same as when you come in there. And that was the start of it. And then, my goodness, I started going to midweek services, and we have small groups, and I started serving at the church. It was things that, I'm telling you, 2 years before, if you would have told me I was going to church a couple times a week and helping out, I would have said, I don't think that's happening. I don't think so. But
I'm thinking, I was going to ask you about how the body of Christ helped you in this, transition back to Pittsburgh and get through the problem. But it sounds like you have really kind of dove into helping others. What's that been like?
So rewarding, so rewarding. When I look back at, again, the Hollywood part, everyone looks at as glamour, but I never felt like I was doing anything to make a difference. I think a lot of people feel that way with their work, right? They don't feel like they're making a difference. And now with the experiences I've been through with my own breast cancer journey and the trauma, accident, and pain, and I had PTSD. So now I work with people in the health and wellness world, and I get to help them on their journey. But I also get to use what has happened in my life, my testimonies, to be able to share that with women's groups and leadership, and being able to share what God has done in my life with others to give them hope, like, don't give up. It's just like we always say, God, just like one more step. Can you listen to me? Can you be quiet and just take one more step, one more step? And I go day to day. It's not, where am I gonna be in 5 years? Day to day.
And Melissa, what would you say to somebody, because I feel like there's so many people right now, they are in this pit of hopelessness. Maybe they got the breast cancer diagnosis. Maybe there's a situation and they don't know where life is going. What would you say and speak to that person? And can you just take a moment and look at the camera and just speak to that one person, speak to their heart that's really struggling, really going through a rough time and a rough season right now?
I feel like people say this a lot about sometimes a setback is actually a setup. And when you're in the thick of it and it's really hard, it's hard to see that. But just really, truly be still and know that I'm God, and take the time to just be silent, listen to him, and know, please just know and have hope that he is there with you every single step of the way. But you've got to be quiet in order to hear him. And maybe you have big plans, and whatever it is that you're going through right now totally looks like this setback. This is where God can use us and mold us like clay to the setup of what he really has destined for you. Who knows what you're going through right now, how you might be able to use your story to help other people. I truly believe that.
Absolutely. And if what Melissa just said is you. If you say that, that's me. I haven't been hearing God. But I know that He's working. You can always call our prayer line and get prayer. But we'd encourage you to do that. But the main thing is stay the course with Him. Go press into Him and let Him begin to work in your life.